guys, welcome back to this week's video. I wanted to make a video about grad school because it is finals week, so I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone with making this video. I'm just gonna bring you through all the ins and outs of what it's like to be in grad school. First, I have to finish up taking notes on my textbook, so I have one chapter left to take notes on, and then I have a reading quiz, and then my final assignments for this class are a paper and also like a final lockdown exam that's 90 minutes. So that's what we have to do this week. I am currently going to Purdue for my Master's of Science in Human Resource Management. Everything that I do is online, and I normally have one class a week that I need to attend a Zoom session for. I do think that depending on what type of grad program you go into, it can drastically change your experience. In my experience, these courses, they are not inherently difficult, but it is more just allocating time to learning the material, doing the papers, writing the discussion post. So I haven't had a huge struggle. It's more just setting aside the time to make sure that I prioritize it. My tips and tricks are going to be different from someone who's, for example, going to grad school for some sort of medical degree. I think that would be a lot more intense. Obviously, I'm working while doing this, so it is a different experience, but if you're going back for your MBA, you might have a similar experience to what I am. Let's hop right into getting started on our schoolwork for the week. So like I mentioned, it is Sunday, and right now I'm just working on finishing up notes for the textbook. I have them pulled up on my computer, but the class that I'm in right now is called Leadership. It's literally just a class about leadership. So I have one chapter left of this, which is crazy that it's like you read an entire textbook. From there, I think today I'm going to get started on my final paper. I was talking to my sister, and we might head to a Starbucks to start working on that. So that's what's on the dock for today. As I'm taking notes here, I wanted to share kind of what I do for notes. So I always like to take notes on the computer, and that's just a personal preference. Let's finish up our notes here. This is actually a short chapter, so I think I'm going to finish pretty quick. So I just finished up taking notes for the last chapter, which is super exciting because now I'm done reading this textbook for this class. And I just have one more reading quiz based on the chapters that I read for last week. And then I have the paper, like I mentioned, and the exam. That went a lot faster than I expected it to, so I'm happy about that. I wanted to give you guys a little desk tour. I feel very grateful to have a designated work spot so I can do stuff. All right, so here is my full desk. I ended up getting this desk, which was from Facebook Marketplace, but it's an IKEA desk. And then I have this monitor, which I feel very lucky that I have because I didn't need to buy this. This is just my work monitor, and I'm able to use it for school, which makes things so nice because life is really so much easier working on a monitor compared to just a laptop. I showed you this earlier, my little speaker. So we have my undergrad degree, just a couple pictures, my little Miffies. I actually got those yesterday. More pictures. I got that Purdue thing just in the mail from them, so I just put it back there. My sunnies, perfumes, office items. And then I have this light. It's not the most functional, but I didn't really know where else to put it, so it's just there for now. And then this is where I usually keep my textbook of the class that I'm in, and then I also have some other hobby stuff in this corner. But yes, that is my entire desk, and like I mentioned, I literally love this desk, and I love having a spot to work. everyone. You may notice that we are back home now. I'm sorry I didn't get a lot of footage while we were at Starbucks, but it was pretty loud and pretty busy, so I was just trying to get some stuff done. But I did get started on my paper, which is also what I'm working on right now, and I think that this paper will not be too hard to do. I think it will just be about putting in the efforts. I think I'm just going to try to keep working on this. It's not due for a while, but as soon as I finish all my stuff for this class, the longer break I'll have between this class and my next class. So I'm really just trying to get it done. I just have this left, and I just have the final exam left. So those are the two things left. Hey guys, it is now Tuesday, so it's been a couple days since we last talked, but the paper that I started on Sunday, I worked on it a lot after work yesterday, which I didn't film just because I was just sitting on the couch watching TV as I was working on it, but I am now completely done with a first draft of that, and I wanted to share how I use AI to help me in grad school, which I was very wary of this at first. When I had my first grad school class, one of my professors said, use it as a tool to help you. So I've been trying to do that more. So like I mentioned, I completed the first draft of my paper, and then I put it into ChatGPT with the rubric that the professor provided, and I said, pretend you are a professor. Based on this rubric, grade the attached paper and give points of feedback to improve on. And so then I attached the paper and the rubric, and what it shared with me is based on each different category, it rated what I wrote, and then it also gave me tips to improve to get the full points. So I'm not a huge believer of using AI to replace everything, but this is definitely a helpful tool because especially with papers, I feel like sometimes you have blind spots to what may or may not be good. So this is super helpful, and I wanted to share this with you. I'm hoping to turn this in today, even though it's not due for a bit, just because I like to get it off my plate. All right, I'm back again, and I just submitted the paper, but I feel like it was just a revelation. Like, that was so genius. This is the first time I've done that, but to put in the paper and the rubric, it gave me a lot of helpful tips that I actually implemented before I turned in the paper. I know that my writing style, I need to work on being more analytical because that's what my first professor told me. He told me that I need to be more analytical and less just descriptive. And it's funny because I put in act as a professor into my ChatGPT prompt. They gave me that same feedback. So if you're ever writing a paper, I would 100% recommend doing that. I thought, I should say too, that this wasn't didn't have any sensitive information or anything that you might not want to upload. It was just a personal reflection. So it wasn't anything to worry about uploading to ChatGPT. It's later in the day, and I just decided I'm just going to take the exam. I don't even care anymore. I'd rather just have it done, and then I can not worry about this class anymore. Like I mentioned, I'm getting my Master's of Human Resource Management, and so this is a leadership class. So our final exam is a case study. We don't know the case until we open it up, and then you have 90 minutes to read the case and then answer whatever questions or whatever they prompt. So I'm going to take the exam, and then I guess we'll be done with this vlog because I will be done with my class. So I'll see you after. You guys, I just finished, and it took me the full 2 hours, which is kind of crazy because I usually finish these early, but I feel like with this specific case study, I just had so much to say. So that was stressful. I literally had 30 seconds on the clock before I had to submit, but I think it went good. I think I had a lot of good information, so I'm happy about that. And now I am completely done with this course, which is awesome. So I am now on spring break, which is fun. I think I have a full 2 weeks off. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna end my video here. Thank you for coming to my grad school vlog finals week. It was honestly not as crazy as I expected it to be, but selfishly, I feel like making this vlog definitely did help me to procrastinate less. And so I'm happy that I'm now done with everything. Don't have to worry about a thing. And yeah, like I mentioned, I'm on spring break now. So thank you guys for watching. I post every Thursday, so I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.